Oh, here it comes.
Someone was out partying last night.
Sheer panic's what kept me awake.
Lean, you were as beautiful now as you were 10 years ago. John Pelletier is lucky to share the stage with you.
They think it's gonna last forever.
And we know it doesn't. Pretty soon all they'll be good for is one of those pathetic reality shows.
Sour grapes make bitter wine, Elodie.
I don't care enough to be bitter.
Then why bring it up?
She bothering you?
Where have you been?
Rubbing shoulders with Eve, Camille, Diane. They're all here.
All that matters is that you're here.
I don't want to mess up Ellis's great work. I'll see you afterwards. Good luck.
Call. Boom. Goddamn cop.
Nice play, Joe.
I'm done. For your widows and orphans. See you around.
Joe! Joe!
What the hell does that mean, see you around? You going Boy Scout on us? You don't drink? You don't smoke? You're taking that heart attack crap too seriously.
I got a word.
Her name is Nina Arkaro. She was a guest of a fashion event on the first level. A witness on the ground saw her first. No one we spoke to saw her fall.
Nina Akaro? She was like a hot model 20 years ago.
Yeah, she's from the coast of Senegal. I had a major crush on her.
Miss Okoro, did somebody do this to you? Can you hear me? Somebody tried to grab her before she fell.
Her assailant had second thoughts.
Oh, he had other plans for her.
Talk to the doctor.
I'm sorry, sir. You'll have to wait.
They won't tell me anything.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. She was very nervous about tonight. She did it for Jean Pelletier. She was his inspiration for so many years. She was presenting him with an award. They kept calling her name, but she didn't come out.
You did what?
I went to look for her. Called her cell, no answer. I assumed she had an anxiety attack and had gone home.
But you stayed behind.
In case she came back.
How long have you been together?
A couple of years. I moved in with her last year. We want to start a family. I already have kids from my marriage, but Nina always wanted a child.
So you're divorced?
It's very amicable. I take care of my wife and kids. There's no animosity.
Sorry, before you mentioned an anxiety attack.
Yeah, she hasn't been before this crowd, since she stopped modeling. The last few weeks have been very stressful for her.
Professionally.
Yeah, it's been hard to be a judge on a reality show. It's her first break for a long time. She's so nervous. Always worrying whether she was going to get fired.
Sorry, we found this on a staircase, this necklace on the tower. Do you recognize it?
Yeah, I gave it to her 6 months ago. She was wearing it last time I saw her. Sorry.
No, it's a murder.
Cause of death was closed head trauma from bouncing off the wrought iron.
You have strangulation marks?
Manual strangulation, imprint of 2 hands, probably male.
How hard was he strangling her?
Enough to cause petechial hemorrhages. He wanted to kill her. Now, this bruise is man-made. You can see the imprint of someone's hand. She was fighting back, and he tried to stop her.
What about these?
Scratches from human fingernails from front to back.
And the scratches on her ankle?
Man-made, carved on a downward swipe.
Or when the ankle slipped out of his hand? I want pictures of everything.
Adele agreed to have coffee with you. Tomorrow after she gets off work.
Good.
She has conditions. Her personal life is off limits. Only she gets to ask the questions. And no advice from you. Look, she may seem tough, but on the inside she's all glass. She's had a very hard childhood.
I know. I was there for some of it.
I told her about the changes you made. How are you holding up? Good luck, Joe.
Miss Okro's necklace was found here. It's the staircase used by the maintenance workers.
Somebody brought her here for a reason. The guardrail's lower here. It'd be easier to push her off. Normand, stand there, back against the rail.
Joe, I gotta think about heights.
Close your eyes. Bayard, hands around his neck. Normand, bring up your left arm. Bayard, grab it with your right hand. Yes. Nina's prints were found here, from her right hand. So she rolled to her left and grabbed the rail. Normand, yes. He grabbed her right shoulder. She started climbing to get away from him.
I ain't climbing anywhere, Joe.
He grabbed her ankle, but too late.
The killer was strangling her to death, but he didn't want her to fall.
He didn't want her broken, disfigured.
No, because he cared. Serge Montaigne, the boyfriend.
Mr. Montaigne gave me strict orders not to let anybody into his office.
Has he been in today?
He left an hour ago.
He's been recalculating the company's earnings for the past 8 quarters. Is the company in trouble?
I don't know.
He's been living here. He left Nina?
3 weeks ago. He told me to stop putting her calls through.
Why did he leave her? Your intuition.
I think he got cold feet about marrying her. She'd been wanting to. Then 3 days ago, he asked me to get copies of his birth certificate, her apartment lease, and their electricity bill.
It's everything you need for a marriage license. He's changed his mind.
Maybe his wife knows why.
It's no mystery why I finally agreed to a divorce. We both moved on.
Yes, but you still wear your wedding ring. So only Serge has moved on.
You're an expert on marriage.
I don't think you let him go so easily. He left you for a model, as if you're not beautiful enough.
Serge is a good father. That's all I care about.
Have you talked to him lately?
No. Now, I have a ton of things to do before the kids get home.
You stay with us.
Who's picking the kids up? Isn't school out right now?
The kids have their music lesson today. I'll pick them up later.
It's just that it says right here that the music lesson's tomorrow.
Go show Mommy your drawings.
Mommy!
Nina kept after me. I wasn't sure I wanted to jump into another marriage. I needed space to think. And finally, I realized I wanted to spend the rest of my life with Nina.
You realize she had you by the balls.
Excuse me?
We found these in the trunk of your car, along with her computer. She had copies of emails between you and 4 law firms detailing an illegal fee-splitting scheme. You'd bilked $12 million from your investors.
For the last year, she was happy just living together. 3 weeks ago, she started insisting that we get married. I wasn't ready. I wanted to go home to my family, so I left her. She started blackmailing me. She threatened to ruin me. I couldn't let her do that, so I gave in.
A very romantic premise.
She didn't care. She was thrilled. Like it was a weight off her shoulders.
You were content to be trapped in this marriage with her?
There are worse things than being married to a beautiful woman.
Beautiful or not. Once the love is out, it's over.
Well, anything's better than prison.
Yeah, but you could never be sure she wouldn't turn on you.
I didn't kill her.
Your phone records show that you called your wife 5 minutes after Nina's body was found.
Yeah, I was upset. I had to talk to someone.
So you called your wife to commiserate about your dead mistress?
No.
No. You called her to tell her you'd done it. You were free to come home.
No. That's not why I called her.
What? You called her to see where she was? Because you were afraid she killed Nina.
I have to get the groceries. Mrs. Montaigne will be back in an hour. You can come back then.
Well, talk to her. She's hot for you. Yes, excuse me. Do you have a boyfriend? Because my partner wants to know, but he's too stuck up to ask. Never mind. We'll come back later.
I don't have anyone in particular.
I'm surprised. Excuse me, could you tell me, were you home on Monday night?
Yes, I'm in most nights, reading.
Oh, nice. And Mrs. Montaigne, was she home?
She went out to run after the children were asleep, about 9. She does that most nights. Does that help?
Yes, a lot, thank you. And what sort of time did she come home?
Just after 10. Well, I heard her cleaning out Mr. Montaigne's old office.
In the middle of the night?
She said Mr. Montaigne was coming home. She was very happy. She'd filled 2 garbage bags already.
So much for chatting her up. I've never had a date end up in a garbage room before.
You live a charmed life.
No bloody running clothes.
The TV show Nina got hired on. You remember what company was doing it?
Yeah, I think Paris One Studios.
Mrs. Montaigne got a receipt from their parking lot.
I know you're at my home. Flirting with my maid, that's rather low.
Was Nina Okoro as beautiful in person as she is in pictures?
I have no idea, never met the woman.
You visited her at her TV studio. Apparently you made her very upset.
She was blackmailing my husband. I wanted to have a civilized conversation with her, but she wouldn't believe her narcissism. She had the nerve to play victim to me, saying I had no idea what it was like to have a gun to my head, please. She was the one threatening my children's financial security.
Monday night, where did you go running?
The Tuileries Gardens, as always. And no, I didn't have a running partner, but I passed 100 people who saw me. Why don't you find them?
Oh, we will. But you can make it from the gardens to the tower in 10 minutes.
Actually, I can make it in 7, but I wasn't there.
So your story is you ran around Tuileries Garden and then went home, cleaning out your husband's old office? Why? You told your maid your husband was coming home. Why did you think that?
Because of Serge's message that he left on my voicemail. He said, "It's over. I'm coming home." I thought he meant he was leaving Nina for good. I never imagined that he'd kill her.
You think he killed her?
Don't you? Yeah. I had every reason to kill her. But I have 3 children. I would never do anything that would take me away from them.
The wife thinks her husband did it.
Yeah, and he thinks she did it.
Which means neither of them did.
Back to square one, 2 days wasted. I hear you're cleaning your act up.
It's nobody's business.
Oh, you work for me. Everything you do is my business. You're doing it alone. It's very unwise. Take that from someone who's 10 years sober.
There was something strange, Miss Montaigne said. Nina told her she had a gun to her head.
Who do models confide in?
Maybe the man she inspired.
I met her when she was 18. She fled Senegal to avoid female circumcision. Brave girl, but naive. First time I dressed her, it was as if my clothes had been made for her all along.
She talked about having a gun to her head. Any idea what that was about?
No. But 3 weeks ago, she was looking through this album and she kept bringing up Galliano and Kate, people ruined by scandal. She said there were things in her past nobody knew about. She was worried about getting fired from that TV show.
Why?
Insecurity. These models. We make them out to be goddesses, but at heart, they're nervous little girls.
There's a picture missing here.
It was there when Nina was looking through the album.
Maybe she took it. What was it?
Yes. The banana print skirt. Very whimsical. It was taken around 1995. She was at the height of her career, maybe 21 years old.
You have a copy of it?
No, but Egon would.
Egon?
Egon Kromer, the photographer. He's the only person who's known Nina longer than me. In fact, he introduced us.
A banana print skirt, how could I forget? Peltier's whole line that season was one big goddamn fruit salad. A Peltier Summer Show 1995.
Any idea why Nina would want to steal that photo?
You assume that she needed a reason. Nina was very impulsive. After all, she jumped off the effing Eiffel Tower. It is still too big.
What makes you think she jumped?
The last time I saw her last week, she was totally irrational.
What did she do?
She called me one night, hysterical. She was in a dive in Pigalle, and she insisted I come and get her, and then she tried to drag me to some strip joint.
Maybe she was trying to seduce you.
Well, I might have accepted, if only as a thank you for helping her get that TV job, but she wouldn't shut up about a gutless boyfriend. So I drove her home. Tell me we are ready for this shot. Thank you. And you don't move a goddamn muscle. Shoot. Now! Yeah, perfect! Next we're gonna do black.
You selling paint?
I am selling an idea.
Beautiful girl.
You should have seen her at 16 when I discovered her. She was working in a bakery. She'd light up the place with one look. Here, no, her soul is dying.
3 weeks ago, Nina was worried about a scandal destroying her career, and 3 weeks ago is when she started pressing Serge to marry her. You know, maybe as insurance against the scandal.
La Danse Sauvage. Josephine Baker. The dancer. I guess it wasn't a question on your college exam. She was a black girl, an American. She danced at the Folies Bergère in the 1920s. She did that dance, La Danse Sauvage, wearing nothing except a skirt made of bananas. Nina wearing Peltier's dress. It's an inside joke.
Yeah, I get it, but it still doesn't explain why Nina wanted that photo.
One thing at a time. Hit the siren. Punch a hole in this traffic.
Why, what's the hurry? You got a date?
Yes, with your mother.
You know what, Joe? I've been your partner for 2 years now, and I think in that time I might have earned some respect.
You know why you became my partner? Because all my other partners, they quit. So will you in a couple of years. But I have to say, you are the smartest partner I've had, and the prettiest.
If you want a drink, go ahead. I don't care.
I'm on the wagon for good. You want anything? I like the steak here.
Just coffee.
This is where my mother met my father. Was an American. When I was old enough, I started coming here in case I ran into him. 35 years. Right, Freddy?
Every night, 10 to 11.
How was work today?
Nothing but rainbows and happy faces.
I want to say sorry. I've made a list. Here.
That's it? That's your list? My piano recital.
I was drunk. I started singing along.
I remember. He punched my teacher in front of all of my friends. I was 11. Mom said when she was pregnant with me, he told her to get rid of me.
I was an asshole. I'm trying not to be that guy anymore. I know you're coming here tonight. It is more than I deserve. I know that. I want to make it up to you. I want to take care of you. Do you know what your boyfriend is up to? It won't end well.
You beat him up. God damn it.
Everything okay, Mr. Joe?
That's it. That's all of them.
Dragged me out for a strip show? I was reading my kid a bedtime story.
You like this bedtime story better. Go ahead. This is the club Lena wanted to bring the photographer to.
Queen of the Jazz Age, the Bronze Venus, Josephine Baker!
Just like her mother was at her age.
Jasmine Bohan,
Yes?
we'd like to talk to you about Nina Akaro.
Why?
Anyone ever told you you look like her?
Good night, Jazz. People say all kinds of things to you in a strip club.
The high cheekbones, the shape of your eyes. She could be your mother.
My mother sells metro tickets at Villiella Bell.
Have you ever met Nina?
Supermodels don't hang out with me.
The bouncer said she came in to see your act last week.
I don't look at my customers when I dance.
Last thing, have you ever seen this photo? Nina is 21 here. Like you, I'm guessing. Wearing a banana skirt like you.
I heard about this person dying. I'm sorry, but her life and mine is two different parts of the universe. Excuse me.
Jasmine Bellan, born 1991 in Paris, given up for adoption, orphanage, then in foster care until she was 17.
Are there any birth parents listed?
She was birthed under X, meaning the birth mother chose to remain anonymous.
I know there are private records, hospital forms that list birth parents. This is the woman who might be the girl's mother.
Nina Okoro? The model who died?
Yes.
Well, my day just got interesting. The hospital records were recently attached to Jasmine's file. For the birth mother is Nina Okoro. For the father, just the initials EK.
EK? Egon Kromer. I guess discovering Nina meant knocking her up.
Any reason those records were just put into Jasmine's file?
Because a month ago she came in wanting to initiate contact with her birth mother. She had a letter she wanted us to give her. Miss Okoro refused the request for contact.
A scandal. Nina was worried about it, Jasmine. Nina was 16 when she got pregnant. Kuma was in his early 30s. Is there any other name on the hospital record, like a doctor or a nurse?
There's the signature of the midwife who delivered the baby, Sister Anna Juliana. No last name.
Oh, a nun with no last name. Piece of cake.
Call her mother. Don't shake her hand. Women like her don't have much contact, let alone cops. Mother Anna? This is the detective that we talked about on the phone.
Hello, Mother.
Well, aren't you a big one?
I want to talk about Nina Okoro. You helped her deliver her baby 20 years ago. Do you remember? How did you meet her?
She came to the clinic where I volunteered as a nurse. She was terrified. She'd been raped. She was bleeding. She had bruises on her body.
This wasn't reported to the police.
She didn't trust the police. She only trusted me because she was taught by nuns in Senegal.
Did she say who raped her?
No. She didn't want to make trouble for him. Even when she found out she was pregnant. Nina decided to give up the baby for adoption. But she couldn't resist holding her after she was born. He found the girl.
Yes. She's beautiful like the mother. She's a dancer, very talented.
A dancer? You mean she takes her clothes off? Life's hard enough for any young woman, let alone one who grew up in foster homes. Nice talking to you, Detective. God protect you.
Thank you. Don't you know any normal nuns?
You mean the kind who sing folk songs and rescue kittens? No. Adele told me that it didn't go very well.
I want to hit myself in the head. She's better off if I leave her alone.
She won't be.
I didn't tell you because I didn't think it mattered. She didn't want to see me, and now she's dead, so it's over.
Did she find you, or did you find her?
I found her. I went to her apartment building. She barely said 5 words to me.
Did she say why she came to your club?
No. She gave me a picture. She said that's all she could help me with. No money, no help with my career. As if I wanted that anyway.
And what did you want?
A relationship with her? She said it was impossible. That it would upset the people that she worked with.
Did she say anyone in particular?
Some guy. Some big photographer. He doesn't know about me. He thinks she had an abortion.
Whoa. Are you okay?
I'm exhausted. I need to go home and crash before I go to work.
Did Nina tell you how she got pregnant?
She got raped. She said she loved me all the same. She loved me, and she threw me away.
Nina had sex with me back then to help her career, which was smart because I did help her career.
The nurse who treated her said she was bruised and bleeding.
Her first time, it's only natural.
You spilled your coffee.
What? You have ruined my equipment.
That's not the equipment you should be worried about.
I can take you, detective.
But yeah, take a walk.
Hey, no, wait. What do you want with me?
Minute by minute, what happened at the award show?
Why would I kill her?
Well, maybe she was gonna tell everybody you raped her when she was 16.
That was 20 years ago. She didn't have any proof that I even had sex with her.
She did. The daughter.
That's why Nina wanted you to go to the strip club. Your daughter works there.
God, she told me she was pregnant. I said if she wanted to have a career, she had to get rid of it, and I thought that she did.
Your daughter found Nina. It was all gonna come out. We think you tried to stop it. Now start right on.
That stupid, manipulative cow.
Show some respect.
If Nina was threatening me, why did she try to seduce me? That night that she called me from Pigalle, she insisted that I bring her home with me, and then she was all over me. She bit my lip. I got a picture. It was an incredible turn-on, actually. Yeah, but then Nina, she changed her mind, and she used a handkerchief to stop it bleeding, and then she shoved the handkerchief into her purse, and she just rushed out. She left me in quite a state, I might add.
What would you done if I'd left you in there? You can't do that, Joe.
The bloody handkerchief Nina took. But if she just wanted his blood, maybe for testing?
For what? Paternity? She already knew he was Jasmine's father.
I want to check with National Health. See if she had any blood tests lately.
Yeah, she came in 10 days ago to get an HLA tissue test. The standard test for compatibility for a bone marrow stem cell transplant.
Miss Okoro had bone marrow cancer?
No, she wanted to be a donor.
Donor to who?
Miss Okoro didn't say. She brought a printout of the recipient's blood work, but the name was crossed out.
The people most likely to be a good match are close relatives, like a parent or a child.
Yeah.
Was Nina a match?
No, she was very upset. But she came back the next day with a bloody handkerchief and said it belonged to a close relative of the recipient. She wanted me to test it, but I couldn't. The sample was dry.
Can you check if this person is on the waiting list for a transplant? Jasmine Bellon.
Sure.
That's why she wanted to find Nina. She has cancer. She needed Nina for a transplant.
But why didn't she tell us? What's there to hide? Nina tried to help Jasmine.
But not at first. She was worried about her scandal, and then she changed her mind. What if Nina never told Jasmine she got herself tested? She was too upset, or she was hoping for a better result with Egan.
You're dying of cancer, and the one person you think might be able to save you won't. You'd be pretty angry.
Yeah, Jasmine Bellon is on the waiting list. She's registered at Dido Hospital.
That's where Nina died.
That's the nearest hospital to the Eiffel Tower. Can bone marrow cells be harvested from a dead person?
Yeah, if they're brain dead. By law, organs and tissues are harvested from all brain dead patients.
Thank you. The scratches on Nina's ankles. The killer tried to catch her. They didn't want her falling 200 feet to the pavements. They wanted her in one piece. They wanted to strangle her and leave her in a place she'd be found quickly.
Taken to the nearest hospital. Where Jasmine's waiting for a donor.
Jazz only worked the first show on Monday. She was tired. She went home.
These hers?
Yeah. What kind of trouble is she in anyway, Miss Goody Two-Shoes? She doesn't drink. She doesn't party.
She's a real dancer. She takes classes.
She drives a scooter?
Her boyfriend Daryl does. He picks her up every night.
This, Daryl, he have a last name?
Daryl, the little drummer boy Julie wants to hump.
Oh, so he's a drummer. He's the guy on stage with her.
Not him. Daryl's our age. He's white.
I know you. You used to hang out at the Lucky Star, and you hooked up with Coco for a while. The Japanese dancer. She said you were a lot of fun.
I have my moments. Any idea what Daryl does for a living?
He fixed our lights.
Yeah, they were always going out. The bus was too cheap to fix it.
Daryl rewired everything for free.
Thank you. An electrician.
Yeah. Maybe he does bigger jobs.
That Eiffel Tower job was 3 months ago now. We only had security clearances for the duration of the job.
You have a kid working for you. Daryl Bissonnette.
Business is slow. Laid him off last month. Shame, you know. He's a good kid. Dependable.
Whose toolbox is this?
Nobody's.
This is, it's a rope for a djembe drum. Drum player wouldn't just leave that behind.
He said he had to go out of town for some family thing. I don't know where. Even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. I like that kid.
People who play African drums are a pretty tight group. Most of them hang out at Parc de la Villette. He's at an immigrant squad in Coupe d'Or.
What are you talking about? A white boy in here. You cracked?
I smell hash. You smoking hash in there?
Break the gate! Out!
In case you hadn't noticed, you're under arrest, Daryl. These were found on your smartphone. Google alerts, Twitter feeds. You've been following Nina Akro for 2 weeks. You knew she was gonna be at the Eiffel Tower.
We were just interested in her. She's Jasmine's mother.
No, Daryl, the lab matched your hands to these marks around her neck. You choked her out so she'd be taken to the nearest hospital where Jasmine's waiting for a transplant.
Nice plan. It took brains and commitment. You have that commitment. It broke your heart to watch Jasmine grow weak while her mother did nothing. You gambled your freedom to save her. I admire that. So here's what we're gonna do. You tried to convince Nina to help Jasmine. She got angry. She hit you. You grabbed her to defend yourself. She climbed over the railing to get away from you. You tried to save her. You grab her ankles. You tell that story, I'll convince the prosecutor to buy it. I'll make sure Jasmine's not charged as an accomplice. You do anything for her. Do this.
No. I'm not saying anything.
She wouldn't help me. She didn't want people to know that she had been raped. That she had a kid who was a stripper. She was afraid for her career, afraid of the guy who raped her. She flipped out.
Weren't you angry with her?
I trust in God. He'll find me a donor.
What about your boyfriend? Does he trust in God? All he knows is that he loves you and wants you to live.
We know Daryl killed Nina. He thinks by not talking that he's gonna stay out of jail and take care of you, but...
That's not realistic. His choice is between 15 years in prison and 30.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Don't talk, but don't be sure that he won't and we can keep you here for 3 days.
You know what happens over 3 days? People get tired. Their tongues get loose.
If Daryl says that you even knew what he was gonna do, then you'll go to prison too.
I'm dying anyway.
Listen, I'm sorry you have cancer. Really. But before you go to prison, you need to know this. 4 days before Daryl killed your mother, she got tested to know if she was compatible. You didn't know. She wanted to help you.
She wouldn't do that. She was too selfish. Daryl is the only person in the world who cares about me.
Dariel's plan nearly worked. Nina's tissues and organs were harvested at the hospital, but she wasn't compatible with Jasmine.
You're breaking my heart, Lieutenant. I want to close the book on these lovebirds.
We haven't got anybody that saw Dariel at the fashion show.
Other words, you've no meaningful evidence. As for a confession, the Sid and Nancy act seems to be working.
Release them.
What, so they can just disappear into the ether?
Jasmine is committed to Daryl. I want to see how committed he is to her.
Oh my God. Look. I think I'm gonna call them.
No, come on. Let's just go there.
We found a compatible donor. We can start the pre-transplant conditioning just as soon as you sign these forms.
Who?
I can only tell you that it's a woman in her late 30s.
Hold it! This lady is from the prosecutor's office. An injunction has been filed to stop this transplant.
Stop it on what basis?
Under Amendments 18 and 19 of Article 39.1 of the Code of Criminal Procedures, preventing criminals from profiting from their crimes.
Miss Bellon and Mr. Bissonette are suspects in the murder of the donor.
I spoke to your supervisor on the phone.
No.
I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do.
No. Jasmine didn't do anything.
Don't say anything.
Until somebody convinces me, otherwise, she is as much a suspect as you. She's not getting that transplant.
We'll find another donor.
Every day she waits, she gets sicker.
Shut up.
What's your commitment, Dariel? Is it deeper than a tattoo?
She didn't know. I didn't tell her until after.
Daryl, don't.
After what, Dariel? I found Nina at the party. I told her I'd make a scene if she didn't follow me. I took her to the utility area.
Don't.
I put my hands around her neck. I was choking her. The thought of Jasmine. Let go. Beautiful, kind-hearted Jasmine. You can have your transplant now. You could live. It's okay.
Thank you, detective.
Detective?
You said she was a lawyer.
Wait!
This was a trick.
What about the donation? What about the transplant?
Your mother did have herself tested, but she wasn't compatible. She wanted to help you.
My mother?
Yes. Your mother. There is someone else who might have what you need. Meet your father.
Hey, Joe! Good news. Egon's compatible. So at least he was good for something. I'll see you tomorrow.
Adele? How long have you been here? You okay?
I need to talk to you. Did you really stop?
Yes, all of it.
Daddy, I'm sick. I take so many pills. I want to stop.